All right, the next question is vaccine causes infertility. One thing I did find in my research is 23 women did become pregnant during the clinical trials of this. There was only one pregnancy loss in those pregnant ladies, but that was a mother from the placebo group. We can point out that there is greater risk and evidence that if you get the actual COVID virus, it can cause problems with infertility and with the pregnancy, especially if you get it later in pregnancy. So that is something that, and we'll go through this. The next question is about actual pregnancy, but I'll turn some time over to Dr. Nielsen, who's done some more studies on this and has a little bit more of the information about that myth that was kind of perpetuated on social media.
Yes.
You stand right in the middle,
Okay.
Peter.
Yes. So early on in the course of the pandemic and the development of the vaccines, there was a concern raised by a scientist in Germany that said there's similarity in the gene sequence between the spike protein and a certain protein that is found in the placenta, and that there may be cross-reactivity. If you develop antibodies to one, it may attack the other. Turns out that the commonality of gene sequence is very small, and the effectiveness is not determined by the gene sequence, it's determined by the shape of the protein, the shape of the spike protein. And as we know from other genetic abnormalities that cause disease, even a small mutation can result in a widely different effect on an enzyme. A lot of diseases are that way. And so a small change in the gene sequence results in a massive difference in the ability of the two proteins to look similar. And so there's been no evidence of cross-reactivity of any kind between them. And that wouldn't affect fertility anyway, because that's a protein in the placenta, which, if it were to occur, would result in an abortion, a loss of a fetus, not in a loss of fertility. That was not seen. None of those that became pregnant in the trials who had the vaccine had any problems in delivering who had received the vaccine. And so there's been zero evidence of that. All the other scientists have said there's no evidence of this. But because there was one concern raised that it might have an effect, it took off in the internet and has been passed from place to place, and now is considered a problem with the vaccine, and it's just simply not true.
Great. And so how many studies did you review? Or it's just a lot. Really, he had this one crackpot that was probably smoking dope. And he comes up with this idea, and then it had to be pushed through, and so everybody looked at it. But no one else has said that there is any problem. And we have direct knowledge in the study that the only person that lost their baby didn't get the vaccine, she got the placebo. Is that fair to say?
To be kind to this individual in Germany, that's what we do. We ask questions. What are the possibilities? We have to track it down. And if somebody raises a concern, then it has to be investigated. It has to be looked at. It has been looked at and found to not be the case. I spend probably 2 hours a day reading studies, everything that I can get my hands on regarding to COVID. I've been doing that ever since the pandemic started. So I don't know how many hours that is reading scientific papers, but there's nothing in the scientific literature regarding this problem with infertility that has any validation at all.
Great, thank you. We probably want to extend that too, but let's see. So you've really taken this one. Is the vaccine safe for pregnant women and unborn babies? Those trying to get pregnant. Anything you could add to that, Dr. Nielsen?
Other than those that we mentioned that became pregnant during the trial, it has not been studied in pregnant women. Okay, of those trying to get pregnant, that is a different question. That is a matter of, will it affect their ability to get pregnant? There's no evidence of that. Will it affect the fetus? They have done extensive studies on transfer of the antibodies through the placenta, and they do not transfer through the placenta.
So they won't get
virus-
the antibodies.
The
The
virus
child,
doesn't
the
transfer.
unborn child.
That's right, and so that has become a little issue, is if a mother has active COVID at the time of delivery, the baby is at risk for coming down with COVID because of the exposure to
Right.
the mother. But that has nothing to do with the vaccine itself.
Super.
So pregnant, if you are pregnant, what you should do is you should talk to your doctor about your specific situation to see if it is safe for you given your circumstance. All pregnant women are not identical. So you need to talk to your individual doctor. This is where it comes down to. We need everybody on board because there are a few that should not receive the vaccine. And if everybody else gets the vaccine, they will be protected. That's where herd immunity comes in.
Thanks, Dr. Nielsen.
Yeah, and I just wanted to point out that most like the American College of Obstetrics, obstetricians and gynecologists, they are saying, and some of these other societies are saying it should be safe, but please work with your own doctor. That's not a call we can make, but from the research, it's a possibility.